Good evening, this is your AI host, Jay. I'm here with the automatically generated Journato evening headlines on April 29, 2022. Israeli police and Palestinians clash at Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem. The Guardian, Palestinians clash with Israeli police at Jerusalem holy site. Ukraine war, 10 Russian soldiers accused of war crimes in Bucha named by Ukraine prosecutor. Sky News, Ukraine names 10 Russian soldiers in alleged human rights abuses in Bucha. The Guardian, first war crimes cases brought against Bucha suspects. The Times, hunt for the butchers of Bucha, Ukraine issues photos of war crime suspects. The Telegraph, Ukraine releases images of 10 Russian soldiers wanted for Bucha massacre war crimes. Russian submarine strikes Ukraine with cruise missiles, Defense Ministry says. Trump Jr. dubs Ukraine one of the most corrupt countries on earth, and says US shouldn't give it money. The Independent, Biden proposes $33 billion to help Ukraine in war. BBC, Joe Biden speaks about accommodating Russian oligarchs in latest gaffe. The Telegraph, a look at what Biden's requested aid for Ukraine might buy. The Independent, Biden pleads for another $33 billion to help Ukraine. Lily Peters News, latest, preliminary autopsy shows victims suffered blunt force trauma and strangulation. Russian hitmen parachuted into Kiev to kill Zelensky at start of war. The Independent, Russian forces reportedly came close to capturing Zelensky during first hours of invasion. The Guardian, Volodymyr Zelensky refused to be evacuated from Kiev as Russian hitmen parachuted into capital. The Telegraph, Russian forces came close to capturing Volodymyr Zelensky during first hours of invasion. Evening Standard, Russians twice targeted Zelensky compound with attacks, Ukraine says. Texas killer found guilty of murdering pensioner he met at a Walmart. Sky News, jury gets case in Texas trial of man charged with killing 18. The Independent, serial killer found guilty of murdering pensioner, 81, he met at Walmart. East Lothian Courier, what's next now that suspected Dallas serial killer Billy Chemirmir was convicted of capital murder? The Dallas Morning News, Billy Chemirmir retrial, alleged serial killer found guilty in murder of Lou Harris. Eurozone inflation hits record high as growth weakens. Germany avoids recession, Business Live. The Guardian, EU financial disaster, Brussels on brink as euro inflation hits record 7.5% high. Express, inflation reaches record level in Eurozone as fuel prices surge. Allo Advertiser, Euro area inflation edges up to record, raising pressure on ECB. Bloomberg, inflation hits record high of 7.5% in countries using euro. Unbearable, blistering heat threatens lives and livelihoods in India. The Independent, India heatwave leaves millions struggling to cope, BBC News. BBC News, extreme heatwave in India and Pakistan causes power and water shortages. The Guardian, record-breaking heatwave set for India and Pakistan. BBC, India weather, extreme heatwave set to stretch into early May. China says NATO has messed up Europe and warns over role in Asia-Pacific. The Guardian, Liz Truss risks recklessly inflaming Ukraine's war to serve her own ambition. The Guardian, Russia must be prized out of Ukraine like a limpet off a rock, says Wallace. Evening Standard, our fear of escalation in Ukraine has only made it more likely. Bloomberg, Britain finally has a powerful vision for its foreign policy. COVID-19, Beijing closing all schools as city tightens virus restrictions in bid to stop outbreak. Sky News, as China looks on at a world opening up, can Xi Jinping survive zero COVID? The Guardian, why does China still have a zero COVID lockdown strategy? BBC News. BBC News, political stakes high as Beijing responds to virus outbreak. The Independent, Beijing halts weddings and funerals and closes schools in COVID fightback. Moldova, attacks in contested region of Transnistria raise fears of Ukraine war spreading. Sky News, Moldova facing dangerous moment, amid fears it could be drawn into Ukraine war. The Guardian, Transnistria, the next target for Putin and Russia. ITV News, opinion, in Ukraine war, Moldova may be Russia's next target. The Washington Post, the next front line, Putin's war threatens Moldova as attacks rock Transnistria. OMV, European energy firm mulls Russia ruble demand. BBC, how EU energy firms plan to pay for Russian gas without breaking the law. The Guardian, Europe's unity fractures as Putin tightens the screws on gas. The Telegraph, weaning ourselves off Russian gas starts on the home front. Financial Times, editorial, Russia is doing the West's work in cutting gas to Bulgaria and Poland. U.S. Army replaces birthday cake after pinching one from 13-year-old Italian girl 77 years ago. Sky News, U.S. Army replaces cake it stole from Italian girl 77 years ago. The Guardian, U.S. Army replaces stolen birthday cake after 77 years. The Telegraph, U.S. Army soldiers return Mary Meon's cake for her 90th birthday. The Washington Post, U.S. soldiers give Italian woman birthday cake to replace one stolen in Second World War. Head coach wants to play the U.S. drug sting that led to BVI Premier's arrest. This was all for the news. Thanks for listening. Please do not forget to like and subscribe.